Hi all, welcome to Jen's Creation Station. Our project for today is this simple masculine card for Father's Day. I'm going to change it down a bit and make it a birthday card. But this background is clocks, and it's a Tim Holtz Alterations embossing folder, and it comes in a set called Clock and Steampunk. It's available through most of your Sizzix suppliers. And this is the card we're going to make today, a simple birthday card with the same embossing folder, only different colored cardstock. So these are the supplies you'll need. You'll need a piece of cardstock for an A2 card, which is 5.5 by 8.5, folded in half. And then you'll need a piece of cardstock. You can use any color you want. This one is Marina Mist from Stampin' Up. It's one of my new favorite colors. This is 4 by 5.25. It gives me just a border around the edge. And then depending on the stamp set you use for your middle, this one is from a stamp set called It's Your Day from Close to My Heart. And I use the cake. And then the Father's Day card is from a stamp set called All Holidays from Stampin' Up. So you can use any sentiment. So for your measurements, you'll need to stamp your image and then cut about a 1/16 to 1/8 of an inch all the way around. Leave just a slight border. And then I use Night of Navy, so navy blue cardstock, just slightly larger than that, about a 1/16 of an inch all the way around. And then the Very Vanilla again is about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. So depending on what image or sentiment you stamp, just make your adjustment accordingly for the center of the card. Okay, for my stamped image, I used for the bottom and the candles, I used Chipped Sapphire Distress ink. For the middle of the cake, the brown, I used the Adirondack Earth Tones Espresso. And then to ink the embossed image and around the edges of my Very Vanilla cardstock, I used Faded Jeans. And then for the candles on top, I used Mustard Seed. Some substitutions would be Chocolate Chip from Stampin' Up. The Night of Navy ink would work. This turned out a lot darker than I thought it would, but I really kind of like the effect. And that is the Faded Jeans, not the darker Chipped Sapphire. The other thing you're going to need is 2 pieces of cream-colored or matching 1/4 inch grosgrain ribbon, about 5 inches total. Cut it in half to 2.5 inches each, and that'll give you your corner ribbon. So let's get started. Okay, so our first step is to get our ink on our ribbon so it dries a little bit before we try to put it on the card. And I'm using Faded Jeans Distress ink on it, just to add some color to it. Okay. There we go. Let's set that aside to dry. And then for this card, I took my Faded Jeans ink pad. If you hear my kitty cat, he's whining, thinking it's time to go out. It's 4:30 in the morning. He doesn't really need to go out because it's like -16 outside right now. And that gave me my highlight of my clocks. And then I took my sponge dauber and kind of inked the parts of the clock to darken them a little bit. And that just defines the edges of the clocks a little bit better. Okay. And then I'm also going to ink around the edge just a little bit, since it's going to be sitting on the Very Vanilla cardstock. Inking the edge just makes it pop a little bit off of that. Okay, and then I'm also going to ink the edge of my card. This is all Faded Jeans. You could use the Marina Mist ink pad if you have it. I don't happen to have the new color ink pads, mostly because I found that a lot of my distress inks coordinate very well with some of the new colors. There we go. And then I'm also going to ink my layers here. You'll notice I'm using a sponge dauber instead of the foam pad that most people use with the Distress inks. I only use the pads when I want a lot of ink on the edge. If I want just a little bit like this, I use a sponge dauber. Or a sponge will work just fine. There we go. Now I'm ready to put my layers together. So let's start this. I like to work from the top down to the bottom. Sometimes I work the other direction depending on what needs to be attached. You know, if you're going to put ribbon on, then you can't attach that to the main card yet. So let's just get this layered like so. Okay, that's definitely upside down, isn't it? Thank goodness it's not on my card yet. Okay, let's tuck our edge of our tape. Okay, and then I did it again, didn't I? Let's get this layered on here, like so. And then I'm going to attach this to my card front. And as usual, I have tape along the edge that I need to tuck away. There. And I'm just going to layer this on the card. There we go. Now before I attach this to the center of the card, I need to put my ribbon on. And what I'm going to do is just take it right to the corner. It doesn't matter if a little bit of the inner layer shows, and I'm going to attach it with glue dots. So we'll get some glue dots here. And these are the 1/8 inch glue dots. They're pretty small. I really like them for a small ribbon. So and you could probably use less ribbon if you wanted to. Okay, and then I'm just going to attach this to the corner, like so. If you have all three of your layers showing here, make sure when you do the other corner that you have all three layers showing, so that it's even. Okay. Just slightly showing. Okay, now that's ready to go on the front of our card. And you could put any sentiment, any stamped image on the front. This is just a really simple masculine card that really can be used for anything. You could even dress this up with a couple of brads on the corners, but there's the front of the card all finished. For the Father's Day card, I thought I'd let you know that I used Distress Ink Vintage Photo to stamp the image, and then I used frayed burlap Distress Ink to highlight the background and to ink the edge of all the cardstock and to do the ribbon. Just a little bit different look and a little bit different color. Thanks for stopping by Jen's Creation Station. Have a great day.